Hello and welcome to the fourth module of strategies for relieving stress. In today's section, we are going to talk about a very important topic, primarily health and exercise. So, today's lecture will focus on the role of exercise in stress release, the two types of exercise, aerobic and anaerobic exercises, and we will discuss about an exercise program for stress management. Now, we all know that exercise is important for health. We have been hearing since childhood days that yes, if you exercise, you are fit and your mind is fit and your body is fit. But why is it important? Why is exercise important? What is the physiology behind it? We know that exercise acts as a stress buster. It is a way of ventilating the stress response. It improves overall health and well-being. And any form of exercise acts as a stress reliever. So, we have often heard the adults say that you can do yoga or meditation if there are people who are really disturbed. Many people suggest that meditation would be a good way of calming yourself down to release stress. Also, playing outdoor games, dance, different types of martial arts and brisk walks help with stress. So, what exactly does exercise do to the brain? There is a huge contradiction about exercise and the brain. Now, before we get on to what exercise does to the brain, we must discuss that whether exercise is a form of physical stress, then how can exercise, again a form of stress, reduce another form of stress? So, why do we use exercise to reduce stress? So, is there any mechanism different that is happening differently in the brain during exercise as compared to a stressful situation? It is not. To an extent it is not. We will see what the differences are. Exercise uses the stress products, increased heart and respiratory rates, blood fats, muscle tension. Now, these things happen in stress also, but exercise uses these products for the positive quality, to enhance the positive quality of health. So, they are not able to affect health negatively, and exercise redirects your attention from stressors to the exercise system specifically, and it involves focused, purposeful behavioral decisions. This is very important. Exercise helps us to be more determined, more in self-control, having self-control. Now, talking about the history of therapeutic exercise, it has been used for a long time to cure illnesses. Now, that may come as a surprise, but it is very true. So, during 5th century BC, Herodotus, a Greek physician, prescribed gymnastics for various diseases. In the 16th century Europe, Duchenne used swimming as a therapeutic tool for strengthening the heart and lungs. In fact, till today, we often see people suggesting that if anybody has asthma, a good exercise would be swimming. In 1829, the Journal of Health, there were several publications advocating regular exercise, walking, and in fact, walking was considered the best exercise for remaining healthy. Since the 1980s, research interest in exercise and mental health increased. One of the reasons being that there were a lot of supplementary food products in the market, and various companies and various sports stars also started promoting these products as a means of keeping healthy. And aerobics became a part of many other sports activities. So, that way individuals who were not sports stars also started in getting involved with exercise. In India, exercise has been a part of our mythological system also. Asanas have been used to prepare the body for meditation, and primarily in Hatha Yoga. So, if anybody is aware of the Vedic texts, you will see that these often talk about exercise for cleansing the body and the mind before we get into other forms of meditation. Now, that brings us to Hans Selye again. We just cannot leave Hans Selye when we are talking about stress. And Hans Selye contended that regular exercise would better prepare someone to resist other stressors. and that stressful situations would not be as perilous to a physically fit individual compared to someone who has led a sedentary lifestyle. So, it as Hans Selye points out, it is not only the physiological factors that should be addressed, but it is also the psychological well-being that improves with exercise. And we see that exercise reduces harmful effects of acute exposure to stress at different levels of function: behavioral, emotional, immunological and neuronal. So, this is more of lectures. So, how do we actually see what are the mechanisms in action during exercise? So, there are three ways that stress is reduced during exercise. One is immediately there are some mechanisms that are active during the exercise period. There are some short term effects right after exercise, and there are some long term mechanisms that come into play, and these primarily involve the overall psychological well-being of the individual. Now, getting to the body mechanisms during stress and exercise. What actually happens is cortisol, we know that the role of cortisol in stress. Now, cortisol breaks down adipose tissue for energy. That happens during a stressful situation, and free fatty acid or FFA is released into the bloodstream. Now, if an individual has no exercise and leads a sedentary lifestyle, then the FFA is converted to triglycerides and LDL, which is bad cholesterol, and this may lead to heart disease. On the other hand, by regular exercise, this FFA or free fatty acids is utilized for energy by muscles. So, if an individual is active, then this FFA is utilized for energy, and finally the FFA levels decline. Now, why, the question then arises, why does what happens when in a stressful situation the individual actually moves around and does something as a fight or flight response? That is also a part of the regular exercise. So, earlier, as we were talking of in the previous sections, that earlier in when man had to take several measures for survival, then these changes in the brain system would be helpful to create more energy for the muscles. But if these days the threats are not for survival majorly, so what happens is, there is no exercise and there is no free fight or flight response most of the times that is required during a stressful situation, and the FFA is converted to triglyceride and LDL. So, in this way, basically this FFA used in a positive way in regular exercise. So, as we were discussing right now, that do the mechanisms differ during a stress response and during an exercise response, the bodily mechanisms? Generally not. So, the initial mechanisms are the same, but the bodily physiological changes are the same, but through exercise we are using it in the mechanisms in a positive way to give energy to the muscles, and on the other side, if there is no exercise, if there is a sedentary lifestyle, then these may cause several other psychosomatic illnesses or physiological illnesses. So, now that brings us to the cardiovascular and cardiorespiratory systems and the effect of exercise on these systems. So, during stress, what happens is there is an increase in cardiac output, blood pressure, resistance to peripheral blood flow and breathing rate. We know all this. Now, what happens during exercise? During exercise, there is an increase in cardiac activity, but the rhythmic use of striated muscles help the blood to return to the heart. So, this is known as a venous return. So, this helps the heart to helps the circulatory system. Now, it redistributes blood from less active body parts like digestive organs and kidneys to active muscles. So, again the body circulation is more active, the heart is being able to pump the blood better, and it improves the efficiency of the breathing muscles, allowing greater lung capacity. So, the when we do cardiovascular exercise, you can your breathing becomes more controlled. So, if a person, say, I will give you an example of a person who is not used to exercise and who has to run for a while, and in comparison to a person who is into regular exercise, he will be panting more for breath than the guy who is into exercise daily. Now, this is because the efficiency of the lung has also increased due to exercise, and an active individual uses lesser number of breaths to move the same amount of air. So, there is this shortness of breath or shallowness of breath is reduced by regular exercise. In this case, we are actually talking of cardiovascular exercise. We will discuss about cardiovascular exercise later, and this improves the diffusion of oxygen into the lungs. So, some of the short term therapeutic effects of exercise are initiation of a state of relaxation following the physical activity, and there is a proprioceptive stimulation as feedback. So, from the muscles there is a feedback. I have been talking about this earlier also, that there is an input from the muscle groups that go to the brain, to the limbic system. So, that is the emotional center of the brain. The hypothalamus and the cerebral cortex are the thinking centers of the brain. So, it goes to the emotional, there is an input from these muscle groups that go to the emotional centers of the brain and the thinking centers of the brain, and it tells us that, well, this you are relaxed now. So, there is nothing to get agitated, there is nothing to get hyper, you are in control, and this reduces the energy consumption of the body. So, the muscle tension decreases and reduces energy consumption of the body, and finally, that decreases the anxiety level and increases feelings of tranquility. So, I hope you understand this. This is like a feedback loop that works. So, when there is anxiety, there the muscles also get tightened, that feedback goes to the brain that this is an anxiety provoking situation, this is a stressful situation, and the brain starts working and the blood is moved to all the muscles for fight or flight response. And there is the HPA axis into action, and there are other systems, other brain systems into action, and the emotional system. So, emotional centers are into action, and that makes that triggers the fear response or the flight response. So, now what by exercise, what happens is these triggers are not brought into action immediately. So, the feedback after exercise, when there is after short term exercise, there is this sense of tranquility and relaxation. That is because the feedback from these muscle groups go to the emotion centers and go to the thinking centers, and it tells these centers that no, your body is calm, there is nothing to worry, you are fine. So, the brain interprets these messages and tells the body again, okay, to relax. So, the muscles get more relaxed, and after that, decreases the anxiety level and brings about the tranquility. So, basically, we discussed about the biofeedback system. So, it is similar. The biofeedback system also, once that input is received that I can control, it goes to the brain, and brain tells you can control. So, the anxiety goes down. Similarly, through exercise also a similar function occurs. Exercise also helps the release of endorphins. Endorphins are a type of substance that induces euphoria. So, when a person is depressed, several times, many of my students know this, that I often tell them you need to go for a brisk walk of the 2.2. In our institute, we have an area called the 2.2, which the students are familiar about, and I often tell them go for a walk, just listen to some music, go for a brisk walk. So, the exercise also reduces depression and anxiety in this way by releasing endorphins. Now, long-term effects of exercise. Long-term mechanisms of health promotion in exercise appear when exercise is aerobic and is practiced for a minimum of at least 1 month. So, we often say that if you try to judge the effects of exercise, long-term effects of exercise, like exercise isn't reducing my depression, exercise isn't reducing my stress level, it will not do for unless you really practice it for a consistent amount of time. There is an immediate effect, that is true, but for long term effects you need to be consistent. And like if you wishing to reduce weight, you cannot just do exercise for a week and say my weight is not reduced. So, similarly with the psychological and physiological benefits. Now, long term effects, one of the long term effects of exercise is improves the physical health and psychological health. So, what are the psychological functionings that are affected by exercise? So, we start feeling fit. Once you are feeling fit, you feel good, and once you are feeling good, you will have a positive self-esteem, and a high self-esteem, you will have more confidence. Once you exercise, your body will be more agile and you will look more fit, even in appearance and presentability, and that also brings in approval and appreciation of others. Now, that also increases self-esteem. Primarily, self-esteem is by personal appraisal and by others' appraisal, feedback from others. So, exercise helps your muscles to be more toned, helps you to be more controlled, more composed, and more focused. So, you have a sense of confidence, and the others' appreciation also increases your self-esteem. You are more agile and alert and more healthy, definitely, with exercise, and you are more involved in work. You are less brooding and grumbling. I will just give you an example for this. Many times, if you are asked to just get up, go to the 3rd floor and bring something. Say if you are sitting in the ground floor, you've been asked to go to the 3rd floor and get something. If you lead a sedentary lifestyle, this will be pretty distressing to you. Oh God, I have to go again and climb all the stairs and get that. Why do I have to move? This is exhausting. So, even if you don't say these things aloud, but these things will be playing in your mind, and that will be distressing you, even when you do not realize it. Sometimes we do, sometimes we do not realize it. But say, think about a person who is very fit and who exercises daily, who plays daily. For that person to just jump up and go and get a thing, he'll not need to think too much about the behavior pattern. So, he will have less complaints about the behavior, and that itself will also reduce the brooding and the grumbling. And also, exercise also increases the sense of being in control. So, you will have less aches and pains, you will be more confident, and this sense of control. I can deal with myself, I can deal with things better. And of course, if you are practicing a consistent exercise routine, then you will definitely be more self-disciplined. How does it affect the physiological functioning? It improves the cardiorespiratory efficiency. We saw that. So, there is less shortness of breath, there is more blood circulation. It improves the glucose utilization of the body, gives you energy, and the glucose is metabolized and it gives you energy. Now, even for diabetic patients, that is why exercise is very often suggested, advised. It reduces the body fat. That by itself will make you, if your muscles are toned, you will feel more confident. Reduces muscle tension, decreases ANS, autonomic nervous system reactivity. What this means is immediately the response of the sympathetic activation system becoming activated immediately. Like if there is the slightest of reasons, there is for anxiety provoking anxious individuals, the individuals become hypervigilant. Startle responses are more. Now, these reduce when there is more of exercise. It reduces anxiety, it improves self-concept, it improves the sense of self-efficacy, physical self-concept and self-control. And one more thing that we are right now working on, and we have seen that exercise also helps to improve the attention of an individual. So, you focus more on things once you exercise. So, this is a study that is being conducted by me currently. So, exercise increases individuals' ability to tolerate high levels of stress and decreases the likelihood of developing stress related pathology. So, we definitely see the need for exercise. Now, that we are confident that exercise is important, people have told us so, and we have learned about the theories and the basic physiology and psychology behind it. Now, there are some things that you must remember before you get into an exercise program. So, what are the guidelines? It is important to decide how much exercise is enough to promote health and better cope with stress. So, when we are talking of exercise, Foss and Ketien in 1988 gave a prescription. They said that it is important to address the frequency, the intensity, the time and duration, and the type of exercise. Here we will discuss some of the types of exercise. So, Packy et al. In 1995 in the Journal of American Medical Association suggested the following physical exercise. He said that criteria for enhanced cardiopulmonary fitness, so increasing the lung capacity and also the improvement of the cardiovascular system, that is the heart and the lungs. An exercise should be of 20 to 60 minutes of moderate to high intensity endurance exercise. So, it is in intensity of 60 to 90% of maximum heart rate, and the frequency should be 3 or more times per week. Now, here we are talking about primarily aerobic exercise. So, exercise should not leave you completely breathless, then that will not help, that will not work for you. So, each individual needs to, you can talk to a trainer, and this you need to decide on your exercise protocol. In fact, you can also read up on it and create your own protocol. So, to start off with, we have seen that walking is a very good form of exercise. You could start with walking and do it for a couple of weeks and then see what difference does it make. Now, you could start with a brisk walk. Now, exercise training heart rates by age for normals. So, I have given these rates. So, you can see that if you want to increase your heart rate, an idea would be to start with 50% increase, and then if you are within this age group of 21 to 30, so you should have if there is a 50% increase, so you should have a heart rate of around 135 when you are exercising, that is for stress reduction, and then you can gradually go up to 147 and 159, but it is advisable not to cross this. In fact, 50% would be good enough to start with. So, now that brings us to the two types of exercise. So, that is aerobic and anaerobic exercises. You all must have heard of aerobic exercises being cardiovascular exercises. So, we will start off with anaerobic exercise. An anaerobic exercise is something that is short in duration and high in intensity. So, it is better at building strength and muscle mass, and it keeps the muscles fit and strong. It is very important, long term effects being, it is very important in old age. It helps the muscles to be more stronger even in old age, and it promotes strength, speed and power. Several athletes and weight builders, they weight trainers, they generally do these sort of exercise. So, you will find weightlifters, boxers, and also individuals who are into high stress games like tennis doing a lot of anaerobic exercises. So, it actually strengthens the power, increases the power, and these include anaerobic activities include strength training, weightlifting, tennis and hill climbing. So, these are working directly on your muscles, but when you are talking of stress, it is advisable to start with aerobic exercise. Anaerobic exercise can be followed later, but to start with aerobic exercise, which is exercise with air or oxygen. So, this is also known as cardiovascular exercises. So, it is rhythmic in nature. It is low intensity exercise for long duration. So, it is actually increasing your endurance capacity. So, it lasts for around 15 to 20 minutes or longer. You can start with 15 minutes of walking, and then you can build it up, and then you can make it into brisk walk, and then you can start jogging and running. And it is maintaining, it should maintain around 60 to 80% of heart rate reserve. So, it is advisable that you do not go beyond this 70% or 80% mark. The American College of Sports Medicine defines aerobic exercise as any activity that uses large muscle groups, can be maintained continuously and is rhythmic in nature. So, this sense of movement, this sense of continuous movement, we have spoken about movement in Tai Chi also in the previous section. In this case also, when we are talking of in aerobic exercise, this rhythmic movement, this continued for a longer duration actually increases the endurance of the body. and it improves the cardiovascular and the respiratory systems. So, what are the aerobic exercises? Walking, cycling, jogging, swimming, aerobic classes and long hikes. So, in the West many people go for country walks. Now, in India you could try out something that is not too strenuous, but you could go for long hikes and maybe a little incline. So, long walks would be a good idea. So, many times regarding aerobic exercise, when I talk about cycling, walking, etc., many times many students tell me, of course ma'am, I do cycle to class, so I am doing exercise, so why would I need to, or maybe I walk to class. So, many of you may be walking to your classrooms, or maybe you are going to your departments or going to your job, taking a small walk, or maybe traveling by cycle. Now, the point is that here in this case, this is not a good idea what I am talking about when I say you need to exercise. The reason being that you are not doing it for exercise sake. So, you are not focused on the exercise. Now, let us see. So, when you are exercising, you need to do it for the sake of exercising. So, that is very important. We will come to that also. So, effects of aerobic exercise: it controls body fat, increases resistance to fatigue and extra energy, tones the muscles and increase lean body mass, it decreases tension and aids in sleeping, increased general stamina, and it improves mood and reduces depression and anxiety. This is very, very important. Now, we have seen this for stress management. Exercise should be aerobic, movements should be rhythmic rather than uncoordinated movements that may cause muscle strain. This is very important. Exercise should be for self improvement, long term improvement in bodily coordination, motor skills and ventilation, and exercise should be without competition. It should not be like, okay, he can run so much in 5 minutes, I need to do the same, or he is doing this treadmill at 9 kilometers per hour, I need to do the same. It is not for comparison, it is not for competition, it is for yourself, it is for your self development. So, you charter your own program, you start it today. It helps, as it says, it helps with self improvement, and it helps with bodily coordination, and it also helps with ventilation. What exactly do we mean by ventilation? So, when we are angry, you can take that out through exercise. It would be a positive way of using your anger towards a physical activity. So, instead of, many times we feel like just going and kicking the door or boxing the door or boxing the wall. So, instead of that, you can actually take out, vent your emotions through exercise. Exercise is a very good way of ventilating your emotions. Now, in one more thing that is very important I should mention before we conclude today's session is that before exercise and after exercise, one very important thing, especially aerobic exercise, one very important thing is required. That is warming up and cooling down your body. So, if you do not do the warm up or stretch exercises, stretching before you start your exercise regimen, and if you do not cool down your body after you finished your exercise regimen, then that exercise will not be effective. Also, it will also bring in more of muscle cramps. You should prepare your body to get into cardiovascular exercise through stretching, and after the exercise is over, you need to cool down, so that your body mechanisms, physiological anxiety, tensions, stressors that were induced, that the body calms down, the sympathetic activation system is reduced, and the sympathetic nervous system is less activated, it is reduced, and your body is prepared to remain calm but agile for the next part of the day. So, this is, please remember that warming up and cooling down is very important before you do any exercise program. So, or rather it should be induced into the exercise program. So, this brings us to the summary of today's session. We have discussed about exercise and health, and the role of exercise in stress release, aerobic and anaerobic exercise and an exercise program for stress management. Thank you.